Welcome to Theme 3 of the Part 1. Our topic today is Our True Identity Binds Us Together. But first, let us reflect. Who am I? A physical body? A social animal? Or more? What about my lower nature and higher nature? How can I interact with my lower nature and higher nature? We have discussed earlier that we have more commonalities among us than differences. And there are many forces, such as our Indian Constitution, that binds us together, unites us. But beyond all these, a question that remains is, who are we really? And what is our true identity that requires us to be united and not to act like the beasts of jungle? People consider several elements to define their identity. Elements such as nationality, occupation, religion, race or caste, gender, education, social status, and many more. So differences in these identities make us different from one another. That's what people believe. But really, who are we? And what is our true identity, our reality, our nature? Let me tell you one story. There was a man who made his living selling balloons at a fair. He had balloons of many different colors: red, yellow, blue, green, and black. Whenever business was low, he would release a helium-filled balloon, and it goes up into the air. So when the children saw the balloon going up, they all wanted one. They would come up to him, buy balloon, and his sale would go up. All day he continued to release a balloon whenever the sales was a little low. One day, the balloon man felt someone tugging at his jacket. He turned around and a little boy was there who asked him, "Uncle, if you release a black balloon, would that also fly?" The balloon man was moved by the boy's concern and he replied gently, "Son, it is not the color of the balloon that makes it go up. It is what is inside that makes the difference." Friends, so is it also with us. It's not our color, gender, or caste, or nationality, or language that makes us who we are. Rather, it is our common inner identity that makes us who we are and binds us together. The question of what is man's true nature has puzzled many people now and in the past. Is it that man is a physical being just like many animals, but with its own characteristics? Is man the product of material activities in search of food, clothes, and shelter for his security and survival? Are these what is expected of a man to do in his whole life, to collect material riches? What is man's true identity? There is a materialistic point of view about man's reality. According to this view, man's reality is only the result of physical evolution. But if this is true, since the process of evolution required a struggle for survival, our characteristics should have mostly been shaped by such a struggle, very similar to what we observe among animals even today. Think of how a struggle for survival takes place in a jungle amongst the animals and species there. What are the characteristics that animals have developed in order to survive? 1. Adaptability to the habitat. 2. Destruction of other species for self-survival. 3. Competing for territory and food. 4. Using camouflage, changing their colors to match with the color of the nature so the enemies cannot disturb them, cannot hunt them. 5. Fleeing from danger. 6. All the above. Let us think about whether the above mentioned characteristics developed in animals for their survival could actually create such higher characteristics as we find in human beings. Although exerting effort to fulfill our physical needs are vital for life, no doubt, there are certain experiences in our daily life that go beyond physical. For example, the joy of hearing our favorite music, the pleasure of watching a waterfall or a colorful bird, the happiness of having a person and helping him when he is in need, and the love we give and we receive. These experiences come from the non-physical reality we have. Some call it our metaphysical reality. According to a spiritual view of existence, human nature is noble and is possessed of unique qualities such as truth-seeking and oriented according to universal, eternal values. Unfortunately, despite such nobility, in certain traditions, various forms of cruelty, discrimination, intolerance, and degrading behavior have been shown by some people towards others. Such practices that are violation of man's nobility highlight the animalistic nature that also exists side by side with the spiritual nature of man. Now, both higher and lower natures of man, if you like, have their own importance and they have roles to play. As discussed earlier, on the one hand, man has a material nature or a lower nature with animalistic appetites that enables him to live in the physical world as we all live in. At the same time, man's lower nature is capable of expressing untruth, cruelty, and injustice. On the other hand, his higher nature manifests good habits and noble qualities. Actually, man's higher nature is the voice and the outlet of qualities such as love, mercy, kindness, truth, service, and justice. Every good habit, every noble quality belongs to man's higher nature. That is also referred to as his spiritual nature. Whereas all his imperfections and evil actions are born of his lower nature, that is also referred to as material nature. Material nature attracts man to the things of the world and makes him think only of his own advantages. If man's higher nature dominates his human or material nature, we have an enlightened soul, a saint. So man has the power both to do good and to do evil. If his power for good predominates and his inclinations to do wrong are overthrown, then man is in truth a glorified person. But if, on the contrary, he rejects the virtuous deeds and allows his evil passions, his lower self, and his ego to conquer him, he is no better than an animal. So man has the power both to do good and to do evil. If his power for good predominates and his inclinations to do wrong are overthrown, then man in truth may be called a glorified person.